Can you die from PNES? Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany if you're new here, and this video might be a trigger for some people, so yeah, that's just a disclaimer. I think I put it in the beginning of the video before it started, but today we're going to be talking about PNES, or I think it's called like NES or NEAD. So I don't know, there's a bunch of names for it. So basically these are questions that people have asked me, or questions that I've seen people ask on like different social media sites like Facebook groups or Instagram, stuff like that. So we're gonna dive into what PNES is and other things like that. So yeah, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. I have my notebook over here. Actually, I put it right here so that I don't gotta look over. And I'm just gonna try to explain to you the best that I can, because I have PNES, but I don't know all the answers. I just know what happens to me and my experience with it and what I've been told by doctors. Some things I say might be correct, some things might be wrong. It's just what I've been told or what I've researched. So the first question is like, what is PNES? So PNES is psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. Some people don't believe in that. They take the P out because they don't believe it's psychogenic. So they say NES, so it's non-epileptic seizures. And then there's another one, NEAD, N-E-A-D. I'm not sure what that stands for, but I have seen people use it. So basically what PNES is, from what I understand, is you've had a traumatic situation that happened in your life, and it's kind of like a mental breakdown in your brain. So it's a traumatic event that happened, and your brain can't really process it the proper way. So like a stress might come out differently than having like an anxiety attack or panic attack or something like that. Instead, you have what look like seizures, epileptic seizures. So something's, a smell or something like that, scent, it might trigger someone and they might have a seizure. Or for me, when I go to gas stations and I see lights or whatever, I start to think about everything bad that could happen, and it causes me to have a seizure. I call them seizures. Some people call them episodes. Some people just joke around and say like they shake or they have tremors and stuff like that. So yeah, they say it comes from a traumatic event, and that's how you get PNES. I don't know how true that is, because I've been talking to younger girls and they're in high school or middle school and they also have PNES. So I don't know if they had like a traumatic event that happened in school or maybe when they were younger, but yeah, I don't know how true that is. Then another question was for me, when did my seizures start? So I know exactly when they started. My seizures started April 3rd of 2017. I have a whole story on it. I'll release that video probably after this one. And back then I was very vulnerable and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'll watch the video back, but I'll post it so you guys can see it. I think then I had a sprained wrist or something like that. So yeah, so they started April 3rd, 2017, and it is now October 2020, and I still have the same symptoms. So the next question is, what happens when I do have my seizures or episodes? So for me, it ranges. So I can get auras, like I'll have deja vu, or it'll my eyesight would change. It will get a little blurry, or a lot of the times now I've been like passing out, and then I'll go into a seizure or something like that. Sometimes I can feel it in my neck gets tense. What else do I do? I think my lips change, like they get real tense. Like, I don't know how to do it. I can't do it or I'll rant. I'll keep going on and on and on and on. I think you guys have seen that in some of my videos. where I'll rant about something and then I'll go into a seizure. That's basically when it starts. And then you guys have also seen me have seizures, and they range. I could be staring into space for a while. I could have grand mal seizures, which are like, you know, you're moving your body around, you're real tense, foaming at the mouth. Sometimes I will wet myself. Sometimes I'll just do like a little tick or something like that. What else happens? Sometimes I'll just repeat words, saying I'll say sorry a lot of the times. Sometimes I'm aware and conscious of what I'm doing, and then there's other times where I completely forget. I don't know what happened. Derek will have to tell me afterwards. And another question that I had that I'm just not remembering is, how many do you have? So for a lot of people, including myself, we will have more than one seizure. So it'll be like you have one, you'll stop for a second, and then it'll go again. So you can have up to like 14 in a day or 20 in a day, and your body's really sore and, you know, you're just out of it. Sometimes you'll go to sleep afterwards. It's just like it's just such a traumatic, it's traumatic on your body. Is that the right word? It's draining. I'll just say it's really draining. Another question was, what triggered my mental breakdown? And that is what I'm still trying to figure out. I feel like I've been through like a lot in my life, like most people, but I don't think my life has been terrible. Like I had a great childhood. I went on vacations. I did a lot of stuff. I really don't know what happened. I don't know. It could have been like when the kids were, like, I had bad pregnancies. That's the only thing I could think of is like I had really bad pregnancies. They're really horrible. If you guys didn't see those videos over on DT Fam, go check those out. My pregnancies were horrible. With Grayson, I was like on crutches. With Amaya, I was constantly sick. So I don't know if that's where that came into effect. And then another person asked me, is there a cure? Sorry for the different setup. Got a phone call. Okay, so I got a phone call. So let's jump right back into it. So someone else asked me, is there a cure? From what I understand, there is no cure for PNES or NES. Something that helped me a lot, my seizures used to be really bad. I started going to therapy and started taking medications, and my seizures went down a lot. But I've been going to therapy and taking medications for on and off for 3 years now. So yeah, I don't know. I still have seizures, and even with therapy and medication. Yeah, I don't know. Therapy might work for some people and it might not. Same with medication, it might work for some people and it might not. So another question was, have you had any injuries? If so, how many? So I've had a lot of injuries. I don't really know how many, but like I've had scrapes and bruises and stuff like that, but I think some of the more severe ones is like when I broke my wrist. I had multiple concussions. I had like a sprained neck. What else? My ribs like hit something. Falling up the stairs. Things like that. I fell like at a pool and hurt myself one day. So you can get injuries, you can hit your head. It's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. Disorder to have, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's how many I could think of that I had that were severe to me, that really, really, really impacted my life, was my wrist, my concussions, and the neck sprain that I had. When to go to the hospital. I've seen that a lot on the Facebook group sites. So what I was told is that you don't go to the hospital unless you have a serious injury, because they don't know how to treat you at the hospital. The most they could do for you is give you medication to calm you down, and that's about it. There's, like I said before, there's no cure. Most doctors don't even know what the hell PNES is. So even when you explain it to them, they're like, what? What does that mean? So a lot of the times, like, I've been to the hospital a few times, and I literally had to explain to the doctors what it was, because they're not trained in it. They don't know what it is. I don't know if it's new, or they just don't learn about it in school. Maybe they just learn about epileptic seizures. I'm not sure. That leads me to another question that was asked. Can you have epilepsy and PNES? And my answer is yes, because I have epilepsy and PNES from what I was told by my neurologist and doctors and doctors and doctors and doctors. And that's because of some of the recordings that I have sent to my doctor. He was like, yeah, it definitely looks like an epileptic seizure. Oh, when I use the bathroom with myself, that was like a good sign. And a lot of the times, and sometimes I'll fall asleep right after instantly, and I guess that's another sign of epileptic seizures. So yeah, that's just how they know, I guess. I don't know if they're just kind of like saying it just to make me feel better, or if that's facts that I have both PNES and epilepsy. So the next question is medication. Do you take medication? Do you believe in medication? What medications do you take? So myself, I've been on a bunch of different medications. Some worked, some didn't. Some made me go crazy. You guys saw that in the video. I ended up in a psych ward because I took Celexa, and it made me go ape shit crazy. Like, I mean, batshit crazy. I don't know what that saying is. Yeah, I was doing some weird stuff when I was on Celexa. So I don't take that anymore. I've been on Trazodone, Celexa, Seroquel, Lamictal, I don't know, whatever. I don't know what it's called. Zoloft. You name it, I've been on it. I've tried it. Some work, some don't. I've tried CBD oils. CBD oils actually help for a little bit, I noticed, and then I stopped taking it because I don't know why I stopped taking it, and I had seizures. I don't know if the CBD oil helped, because at that point of my life, I was like very zen, I was calm, I was going to my therapy sessions, and the kids were doing their own thing. They were chill. Me and Derek were good. Derek's my husband, so I don't know if that played a part in it. Another question that I got actually from a younger girl is, have you done any tests? And I've done a lot of tests. The only test I have not done is a spinal tap. They will not give me a spinal tap. Don't know why, because I wanted to know if I have, what is it called? MES? Dang, I forgot the name of it. I wanted to know if I had that, because I had a lot of the symptoms of that. So I wanted to do a spinal tap. I've done an EEG, I don't know what it's called, where you're in a box, a clear box, and you breathe into the thing. I've done EKG. I've drawn so much blood, I don't even know how I'm here, because I've given so much blood. So they could test my blood to see if I had Lyme disease. You name it, I've taken every single test in the book. I advise you guys to do the same thing, because you might not have PNES. You might have Lyme disease or something that mimics PNES. Or you could just be having a mental breakdown. There's a lot of different things that could be happening to you. So you might not have PNES. So definitely keep trying, keep pushing for those tests. If you don't have insurance or the money to do it, there's a lot of government programs, especially right now with the cove going around. There's probably a lot of different insurances that will help you out. Do I face any discriminations? Do the doctors say it's fake? So I don't. Like, I can get a job with ease, and I tell them what's going on. I don't get discrimination like that, but whenever I've gone to therapy, or like I tried EMDR therapy, and the lady was just kind of like, explain to me what it is. So like, is it fake? Is it real? Are you pretending? Another thing I remember someone saying when I was in the ICU is a girl walked in and she asked me a question. And back then, if you asked me any question, my body was like, I don't know, my brain was like, oh my God, she asked you a question, seizure. She asked me a question, and I remember her saying like, oh my God, all I did was ask her one question. That kind of threw me off. Another thing is when I was riding in the ambulance one time, a guy just shoved like something in my mouth, and he was just like, breathe into this. Like, you're fine. You're fine. That's it. So I really don't get discriminated against. Something I did notice is like, I probably should have kept it more secret, because people treat you different when they know that you have a mental disorder. So some things they might tell you that they think will stress you out, and be like, why didn't you tell me that? They're like, well, because you have Pnes. I don't want to make you have a seizure, or whatever the case may be. Like, my husband does that a lot. Like, he could be stuck on the side of the road with the car, and he won't call me and be like, hey, I'm stuck. I need help. Instead, he'll call like some other family member or something like that, and then I'll know later on that he got stuck on the highway or the side of the road, because he doesn't want to stress me out. And I'm like, dude, I'm fine. Like, I'll be fine. Just let me know what's going on. And then another huge question, huge question. And this is for all the girls, women out there. They say, does your menstrual cycle make you have more seizures? And the answer is yes. Yes, it does. I don't know if it's hormonal or what. Guys also have PNES, but I feel like, I don't know why, whenever I'm about to get my menstrual cycle or when I'm on it, my seizures come back to back to back to back to back to back to back. It does not matter what month it is, how long my menstrual cycle is, it's bad. So whenever I'm, like, I have a period tracker on my phone, so the week before I have my period and the week after and the days during, I make sure I haven't made any plans. I'm not driving the car. I'm not going nowhere. So a lot of the times people be like, yo, where were you at? And I'd be like, oh, I was at home. I'll literally just watch Netflix for that amount of time. I don't even think anyone noticed that I do this except for my husband, but I don't go out or anything like that. And I definitely will not drive because I know it's going to be bad. And I think that's usually when I get hurt the most, is when I'm on my menstrual cycle. So this is a crazy question, but it has happened to me before. I don't know why. I actually told my doctor this, and I think Derek has a recording. One day when I had a seizure, I did have an accent. So the question was, do you speak in different languages, or do you get accents? So yes, I was speaking in a British accent for a while, like for a long time. I couldn't shake it. I don't know. Like, even now I can't speak in a British accent, so I don't know how or where it even came from, but I was like fluent in that shit. Like fluent, like it was flowing. It's like I lived there for months and months or years, and I knew how to speak it, and the accent and everything was like super strong. So I don't know. That just happened. I know it doesn't happen to a lot of people, but it definitely happened to me, and it freaked me out because I was like trying to shake it. It was like when you, I don't know if you guys ever did this, but when you suck helium out of a balloon and like that voice, it's funny for a little bit, then you're like, all right, I want to go back to my normal voice. It was like that. Well, at least for me. Another question is, have you ever had them in your sleep? Because I have. I have had them in my sleep, and the only way that I know that is because Derek told me I had them in my sleep. Derek's my husband, if I didn't say that before. I don't remember having them in my sleep, but I guess I do. I don't know. This is a topic that scares me, or a question that scares me, is can you die from PNES? PNES itself, you cannot die from. It's not like you have like I don't know, like a brain disorder, disease or something, like it's eating away at your brain or your heart or whatever. From what I know of, you cannot die of PNES. You can die of getting injured from having an episode or a seizure, whatever you guys like to call it. I have seen on multiple sites that people have died from it, whether it be like a lot of stress on their heart, or I hate talking about this, or like they're taking a shower and they, go away in their shower, they'll slip, or they'll cover the drain and basically, drown. I've heard of people. This is such a crazy topic. I hate talking about it because I don't wish this on my worst enemy. Obviously, I've heard of people getting into car accidents or falling and really injuring themselves. And I've seen it actually on YouTube videos of a lady who fell and she actually like had a gash in her head. And I was just like, wow, like that's insane. I've never had a gash on my head or any broken, well, I have had a broken bone, but anything like that's intense. And then other questions are, can you get disability? Like SSDI, I think it's called. I don't know if that's just here and where I live. I don't know. Can you get disabilities? The answer for that is yes and no. I just don't think people can get disability for just having PNES. I think you have to have like anxiety disorder, depression, or something like that. Stuff that will like, don't get me wrong, PNES affects your daily living, but I think it has to be like extreme. So I have disability, and I got it because I literally had a seizure for an episode in front of the judge as we were doing it, because I was so anxious, like my hands were trembling like this, and I just couldn't get myself together, and had a seizure in front of him. But I had back of paperwork from the ICU, from the doctor, saying that my daily living would be affected for the rest of my life. I had letters from my therapist, psychologist, I don't know what you call it. Like I said, EMDR. My husband wrote a letter for me stating how it changed my life with him and with my kids. Yeah, like I think if you're gonna try to apply for disability, definitely have a lot of documentation. Try it out. You could appeal it over and over and over. So try it, because it does affect your day-to-day living. Like a lot of people can't even hold jobs, which comes to the last question that I've gotten is, do you see yourself being able to live alone? Yes and no. I think there's a lot of people who do live alone who have PNES. I think you just have to know your body, set yourself up. If you feel like you're gonna have a seizure, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could see myself living alone. I would go into a group home before I lived by myself. So that's basically it. That's a lot of the questions that you guys wanted to know, a lot of the questions that I saw. So if you guys have any more questions, definitely leave them down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye.